7th grade, we are reviewing for our test, which will be your last assignment for the quarter in science. So let's get started. I don't know why. There we go. Maybe it's just slow. So vocab, we start with the water cycle, the continual movement of water among Earth's atmosphere, oceans, and land surface through evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Evaporation is the process by which molecules at the surface of a liquid absorb enough energy to change to a gas. Condensation is the change in state from a gas to a liquid. Humidity, the amount of water vapor in a given volume of air. Relative humidity is the percentage of water vapor in the air compared to the maximum amount of water vapor that air can contain at a particular temperature. A psychrometer is an instrument used to measure relative humidity. That will be on your test. Dew point is the temperature at which condensation begins. And next we have the types of clouds. Those will also be on your test. Cirrus are wispy, feathery clouds made of ice crystals that form at high levels. Cumulus, fluffy white clouds, usually with flat bottoms that look like rounded piles of cotton. Stratus, clouds that form in flat layers and often cover much of the sky. Precipitation is any form of water that falls from clouds and reaches Earth's surface as rain, snow, sleet, or hail. A rain gauge is an instrument used to measure precipitation. Flood is an overflowing of water in a normally dry area. A drought is a long period of low precipitation. Air mass is a huge body of air that has similar temperature, humidity, and air pressure at any given height. Tropical, a warm air mass that forms in the tropics and has low air pressure. Those will be on your test. We have tropical, polar, maritime, continental. Those will be matching. Polar is a cold air mass that forms north of 50 north latitude or south of 50 south latitude and has high air pressure. Maritime is a humid air mass that forms over oceans. Continental, a dry air mass that forms over land. So real quick, let's just look at those ones again. So tropical, remember, it has the word tropics in it, but tropical means warm, like sunny, nice place. So you have a warm air mass. Polar, you think of the North or South Pole, so that's cold. Maritime, so a lot of oceans have a marina. So that's one way you can remember maritime, it's the oceans. And then continental, we're in a continent, which is land, okay? Jet streams are bands of high-speed winds about 10 kilometers above Earth's surface. A front is the boundary where unlike air masses meet but do not mix. Cyclone, a swirling center of low air pressure. Anticyclones, a high pressure center of dry air. A storm is a violent disturbance in the atmosphere. Thunderstorm is a small storm often accompanied by heavy precipitation and frequent thunder and lightning. Lightning is a sudden spark or energy discharge caused when electrical charges jump between parts of a cloud, between nearby clouds, or between a cloud and the ground. A hurricane is a tropical storm that has winds of about 119 kilometers per hour or higher. A storm surge is a dome of water that sweeps across the coast where a hurricane lands. Tornado is a rapidly whirling, funnel-shaped cloud that reaches down to touch Earth's surface. Evacuate is moving away temporarily from an area about to be affected by severe weather. Meteorologists, scientists who study the causes of weather and try to predict it. And two more terms. Isobars are a line on a weather map that joins places that have the same air pressure. And isotherms are a line on a weather map that joins places that have the same temperature. Excuse me. So we have lesson 1. We learned about the water cycle. So in the water cycle, water vapor enters the atmosphere by evaporation from the oceans and other bodies of water and leaves by condensation. This one will be a question where you have to determine which is not a part of the water cycle. Relative humidity can be measured with an instrument called a psychrometer. Lesson 2, clouds form when water vapor in the air condenses to form liquid water or ice crystals. Scientists classify clouds into 3 main types based on their shape. So we talked about cirrus, cumulus, and stratus already in the vocab. Clouds are further classified by their altitude. So we have your altocumulus and altostratus. Alto means high. Medium level clouds that are higher than regular cumulus and stratus. They're lower than cirrus, and they include precipitation. Fog forms near the ground. It can form when the ground cools at night after a humid day. So these three will also be on your test. They are multiple choice questions, and you only have to pick between these three. So cirro, cumulus, they look like cotton balls. So you can think of cirrus, where wispy ones. These ones look like cotton balls. And they usually indicate a storm is on the way, and that's actually the part that's going to be on your test. So just like cumulonimbus often produces thunderstorms, that's the question. And nimbostratus can produce drizzle, rain, or snow. So you'll want to remember those three parts. What type of weather do they produce or indicate? From lesson 3, we have the common types of precipitation, which include rain, sleet, freezing rain, snow, and hail. This question will be fill in the blank where you have options. You want to select 2. So 2 of those will be blank, and you'll need to select them from the options. Small or large, many floods occur when the volume of water in a river increases so much that the river overflows its channel. Droughts are usually caused by dry weather systems that remain in one place for weeks or months at a time. Lesson 4, 4 major types of air masses influence the weather in North America: maritime tropical, continental tropical, maritime polar, and continental polar. I already told you what that question is going to be like. It's going to be matching. Colliding air masses can form 4 types of fronts. This one you're going to have 2 of them that are listed and 2 of them that are not. You'll have to pick the other 2. So you have cold fronts, warm fronts, stationary fronts, and occluded fronts. Cyclones and decreasing air pressure are associated with clouds, wind, and precipitation. The descending air in an anticyclone generally causes dry, clear weather. Lesson 5, all year round, most precipitation begins in clouds as snow. If the air is colder than 0 degrees Celsius all the way to the ground, the precipitation falls as snow. Thunderstorms form in large cumulonimbus clouds, also known as thunderheads. A hurricane begins over warm ocean water as a low pressure area or tropical disturbance. Tornadoes most commonly develop in thick cumulonimbus clouds, the same clouds that bring thunderstorms. If you are caught in a snowstorm, remember this is where we talked about safety. Try to find shelter from the wind. During thunderstorms, avoid places where lightning may strike. Also avoid objects that can conduct electricity, such as metal objects and bodies of water. These next 2 will be there. It'll ask you whether a watch or warning indicates the hurricane conditions are possible in an area in the next 36 hours. So watch is possible in 36 hours. A hurricane warning is that they are expected within the next 24. So you'll have that second part, and you'll have to pick whether that's a hurricane watch or a hurricane warning. And then we have tornado watch is an announcement that tornadoes are possible in your area. A tornado warning, an announcement that a tornado has been seen in the sky or on weather radar. Now this next part is going to also be on your test. So remember, the safest place in a tornado is a basement, unless you don't have one. Then it says move to the middle of the ground floor, stay away from windows and doors, lie under a sturdy piece of furniture. Now this next part also on your test. So if you are outdoors, what do? You lie flat in a ditch. Okay. And finally, number 6, meteorologists use maps, charts, computers, and other technology to analyze weather data and to prepare weather forecasts. That's on your test. You'll have all that. Second part, you have to determine what person, so meteorologists use all that. And then standard symbols on weather maps show fronts, areas of high and low pressure, types of precipitation, and temperatures. So that one will also be on your test. One of those will be blank, so either fronts, areas of high and low pressure, etc. And you'll have to select it from the options. All right, that's it for your review. Please let me know if you have questions or go back and check something out if you forgot about it, because you can skip and jump around on the video. Your assignment is to complete the Chapter 5 test. It's due Thursday. Remember that this is the last week of the quarter, so if you are missing assignments, whether you need to check GradeLink or you need to ask, please do so that you can get those caught up and finished by Friday. Otherwise, have a good day.